going to show you how to create a set of flashcards using AppLab. So the idea is we have a set of cards like this. So let's just demonstrate how this one we've already made works. So that is to say we have a set of flashcards on a particular topic, and then we click our start button, and then we can revise by clicking on the front of the card, and then if we click on the text area here, we see what the back of the card looks like. So we have the front and the back there. We can flip between them just by clicking on each of those. And then if we wish to revise another card, then we can do the same thing with that. And again, we can flip back and forth between those two and revise those two. Move on to the next card, revise that one as well. And then when we've got our complete set, we've only got three cards in that one, but we could have more. We can complete our set, and then if we wish to do so, we can go again. So that's what we're going to aim to create. So let's begin then by creating a new AppLab from scratch, and we're going to first of all rename it. So we're going to call this flashcards 2 and save that. So we're ready to go now. Going to set up our first screens. This is going to be essentially our welcome screen. So it's not going to have very much on there. So we can just go to design here. We're going to have a text area here that's just going to say, let's do computational thinking flashcards. And we're happy with the text there. Spelling correct on that. Perhaps I want to do a little bit of formatting to that, and we can also, what I'd really like to do is actually use a different theme. So I'm going to use the classic theme here, and what I wish to do to the text is to make it a bit bigger. So let's make that 40 is quite large now. We can increase the size of this box here. We've also got a box border around the edge there, which I want to get rid of. I don't think that's necessary, so I'm just going to set that to be 0. So that's got rid of the border. Again, just make it a little bit wider so we've got the computational thinking there, computational word on one line, and then let's make the alignment centered. We also need to put a button on there as well. So this is just simply going to be, our button is just simply going to say start, and that will take us to our first flashcard. And I'm going to rename now, give the ID for the buttons, and give them sensible ID names, because it makes it easier then to be able to link everything together when you come to do the coding part of it. So let's go to the screen itself. So I'm going to just click on the screen. I'm going to call the screen, this is just simply the welcome screen. So screen welcome, and I'm going to just give it number 1, and then I'm going to have my text here. So this is going to be the 1 here, just corresponds to the text area on slide 1 there. So 1 text area, and then button here, again this is going to be 1 button. So we know that the button and the text area correspond to our welcome screen. Right, so happy with our welcome screen. Let's move on now to our first flashcard. So we can do the front of the first flashcard. So we're going to call this, this is going to be our second screen, and it's going to be to the front of our algorithm definition. Again, you can do flashcards on any topic you want. I'm just doing mine on computational thinking. It seems relevant in this context. So I'm going to again have a text area here, and again I'm sticking to the classic theme there. I'm going to put in my text there, which is just simply going to be the word algorithm, and again I want to do a little bit of formatting to that. So let's increase that to about 15. That can be nice and big since it's just a single word, and get rid of the border again. Get rid of that. And I'm going to put the button in there for that as well. And that's just simply going to say next. So I'm kind of happy with that slide, and what I can do, because the other slides are very similar, I can actually duplicate this screen or slide screen. So I can duplicate. So I'm just going to simply duplicate this screen several times now. So that's going to be duplicated. So I've done that. Now I've got another screen, so that can be the algorithm to the back one. So again, let's just do a couple of these. Actually, I've accidentally duplicated just the button now. It's going to get rid of that now. Just drag that off. So just make sure we're actually duplicating the screen, not the elements. Just duplicate. It's done that. So we've got now 4 screens. Again, just duplicate. And then I'm going to do one more duplication and duplicate there. Right, so I've got all the screens that I need. So we've got our screen front algorithm. So my screen 3, I'm just going to label this now to be 3, and this is going to be screen back for the algorithm. And it's just going to simply have the definition of an algorithm. So again, that's probably a little bit big, the font there. So let's make that a bit smaller. Helps a little bit. About 40 is good. Again, just adjust the size of our window here. Sequence steps that solves a problem. There we go. It's as good a definition I can think of in the moment. So there we go. So we've got here text alignment, center there as well. Or maybe just keep it to the left. Probably just best keep it to the left in this case there. Right, so there we go. So we've got our button and our text there. So that's our algorithm front and back of the card done. Let's move on now to our next card. So we're going to define the word. So this can be screen 4. So it's going to be, let's do decomposition. 4 underscore. And that's going to be the front of it. So just change the word algorithm to decomposition. Again, probably a little bit big. Just need to resize that to 40. And probably a bit big again. Probably let's go 30. There we go. That's fine. And then we'll do our screen 5. This is now going to be our decomposition back. Back decomposition. So breaking into smaller sub problems. Let's just go with that for the time being. And again, make the text a bit smaller, a bit big. There we go. Broken common front to smaller sub problems. There we go. Okay, so we've got our we've got 2 cards there, one for algorithm, one for decomposition. Obviously, we can add more cards, but probably get the principle by now. And then finally, we can have an end screen. This is just simply going to just be a way back to the start again. So 6 screen and then I'm just going to rename the button and just call this the text can just be back to start or something. There we go. So that's all good. Don't make that a bit bigger. There we go. And then we can get rid of text area there. We could have text area that just simply says end set. That's probably a sensible thing to say there. So again, I just want to get rid of the border on that. There, I'm just going to increase the size of the font there. Let's do 40. There we go. Brilliant. So we've got our 6 screens there now. That's all set up. Now we need to link them all together with our code. So let's click on our code button here, and we need to put in all our events. So let's go. So on event, when we click on our start button here, we want to go to our algorithms front screen. So if you click on here, one button start, there we go, got that there. We want to go to our set screen here, and we want to set screen this to be our screen 2 front algorithm. There we go, that's what we want. Right, now there's a quick way of doing this. What we can do is you can just keep adding on events, but actually a simple way to do this is to copy that and then just modify for our different events and going to different screens. So let's do that, and we're going to do this. If we click on show text here, what it does is it shows the corresponding Java code, and what we can do is if we copy and paste that, so we highlight it, copy, and then we can paste. I'm going to paste that a few times now, so we've just got lots and lots and lots of these, and then we're just going to modify them as we go through this. So that's hopefully should be enough there. We may need to put more in, or we may need to remove some, but that's fine. Let me just click on go back to blocks, and now we can modify them all. So the first one we're happy with, so when we click on start, we can test that actually. We can if we reset here, run this, if we click on the start one, hopefully it'll take us to the algorithm front page, which is what it does. Right, so let's reset that now. Okay, so next we want to go on event. This is now our button 2, which is our button on our algorithms front page. So again, I haven't labeled it properly, but what we wanted to do is to go to our algorithm. So that would be to next one, the button actually to go to the front of decomposition. That's what we wanted to do, right? And then the button 3. That's the one on the back of the algorithm. So again, I'm just trying to remember this. And then this one will go to, again, we want that to go to the front of decomposition. So these are the next buttons. There's 2 and 3 of the next buttons there. And then for buttons 4, well, isn't button 4, but button 5 here, it's going to take us to our end screen. So again, this will be the next button on the decomposition slide, so that'll take us to the end screen. And then button 5, button 6 will take us to also to the end screen, and then the buttons on the end screen will take us back to the start again. So we go in a full circle here. So that was button 7, and that will take us back to our start screen. So what these are when we're clicking on the buttons, they take us to the right place. We haven't got the fitting between the back and the front of the cards yet. We haven't got that working just yet, but we're just gonna test that out and see if that's good for us. I'm just gonna put a little comment in here at the top. We can do that by going to function, put a comment in the top here, and this is just simply going to say, just simply have next card in set. So that is to say, when we click on those buttons, it takes us to the next card in the set. So let's have a look to see if that works for us. So click on run, click on start, takes us to algorithm. Next, takes us to decomposition. That's exactly what we wanted to do. Next, take us to the end of set. Now at the end of set, does it take us back to the start? Yes, it does. So that's really good. So I think our buttons there that take us to the right place are working for us. Let's now do the next thing, which is to try and get the cards flashing back and forth. So the same card, when we click on the text, it takes us to the back of the card. From the back of the card, it takes us to the front of the card. So that's what we want to do next. I'm just going to now put in a new comment here. So this is now going between front and back of a card. So that's what we're going to do next. So we'll scroll down here. We're happy with all our buttons. Now we just need to ensure that we're able to flip between the back and the front. So we need to click on go to here, and we need to have now, so if we get our buttons, the text areas, right? So text area 2, that's going to be our algorithm. So what we wanted to do is to take us to the back. So set screen needs to take us to algorithm back. So text area 3, which is on our algorithm back, needs to take us to our screen front of algorithm. So those two will flip between the back and the front of our algorithm. We can test that in a minute. Let's just get the other one in there as well, so the one for the decomposition. So that's going to be text area 4. That's going to take us to decomposition back, and then text area 5. So again, you want to be labeling them better than I have done, because I haven't labeled these. You want to be make sure I label these properly. I'm just doing this because I remember it, but it's not obvious if you have lots and lots and lots of these cards. You really want to make sure you've labeled them in a sensible way. So this is going to go to decomposition front. So now I think that's okay there for those. I think that's all we need there. Don't need these last just can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. Oops. So we can get rid of all of that. We can get rid of that as well. So I think now that is pretty much our completed code. So let's again check to see if that's all good for us. So click on run here. Let's click on start. So that's good. So if we click on algorithm here, it takes us to the back of the algorithm card. So we're able to click between those two. That's really good. And then if we move to next, we move to decomposition. That's really good. And again, we can hopefully flip it. There we go. So you can flip between the two there. And again, if we click on next, it takes us to the end of the set and back to start. So there we have it. We have our set of computational thinking flashcards. Obviously, we can add more cards in there. We only have 2 at the moment. And as you add more in, as I said, it's really important to ensure you give each of the elements a proper ID so that it's easier to identify what they are. But that's working really well for us, and that hopefully will get you starting on how to create flashcards.